Hello and welcome back to InformOverload. My name is Aaron and I'll be your host for today's video where we're going to cover some stories from the past week, including one regarding MrBeast's, aka Jimmy's, friend and collaborator Kris Tyson, who's just decided to make public that she's transgender. After that, we're going to discuss Elon Musk's decision to rebrand Twitter, and we're also going to be covering retired football player Tom Brady's alleged new fling with Russian model Irina Shayk, after they were seen spending a weekend together. Stick around and let us know what you think about today's stories in the comments below. Let's jump right in with Kris Tyson's announcement. One thing that makes MrBeast's videos so captivating and entertaining to such a wide range of audiences is the hilarious interactions between his group of friends. In videos that the group is all present together, they all partake in banter and bits that make the audience feel included in the fun. And the forerunner of this friend group is internet personality Kris Tyson. On July 21st, Kris made an appearance on Anthony Padilla's I Spent a Day With podcast, a show where he's previously featured other people of unique and intriguing backgrounds. Padilla himself describes the show as one that celebrates the humanity we all experience as we navigate life and grow a deeper understanding of ourselves and others. He says that we want to foster a community of inquisitive thinking, meaning that hate for the guest is not and will never be tolerated. Anthony's known to provide a kind and welcoming atmosphere for his guests to open up in, leading to profound, at times intense conversations between him and his guests. Kris's time on the show was no different, as she revealed that not only was this the first time she has said publicly that she is a woman, despite being completely confident in that fact for over a year now, she went on to explain that she'd taken the steps to start hormone replacement therapy in February, alongside the decision to grow out her hair and starting to present publicly feminine. Kris delved deeper into her exploration with gender, saying, "I wasn't quite sure who I was yet, but I knew I was not cisgender. So I need the freedom to be able to express myself and be able to figure out who I was. For a while I was trying gender fluid, but I was like, what is making me feel like I'm bi-gender? What is tying me to this masculinity?" She went on to elaborate on this, telling Anthony that, "After a lot of talking with a therapist, a lot of self-reflection, I realized that it was just this societal pressure of, you're Kris from MrBeast. You're the guy that starts the fires. You're the guy that builds stuff. My whole life I've enjoyed doing those things, but I've never really felt like the guy." Which is incredibly important for her to discuss, as the perceptions you believe people have about you obviously play a big part in how you feel like you have to continue behaving. Having someone like Kris, who has such a large reach, explain these feelings will make it easier to put into words what fans of hers may also feel about their gender identity. Kris continues in her interview saying, "For so long, every day I would go to bed and I would have vivid dreams that I was a woman, and I would wake up in the morning ripped out of a reality that I didn't want to be taken out of. There were times where I would just sleep all day because it was more fun or more enjoyable to do that than be in the real world. I didn't feel connected to it." Again, really valuable information to be offering on such a public scale. Giving more figures such as Kris the platform and ability to open up about their experiences with gender identity is something we've got to see more of, and I'm so glad that not only did Anthony allow her to tell her story on his podcast, but also that Kris felt comfortable and confident enough to do so. Although Kris has received an outpour of support, she's also, unsurprisingly, been at the forefront of a lot of scrutiny from ignorant haters. She's also had many fans have positive reactions to her being her true self. The support for Kris doesn't stop at fans though, as her friends have had her back completely. In regards to her collaborator MrBeast, she says that his reaction to her transition was what she can describe as calm and supportive. Tyson stated how MrBeast knew she was dressing as a woman when she was still deciding to keep quiet about it. In fact, she told MrBeast before she even told any other friend, and has been out to him for almost 7 years. MrBeast spoke out about the backlash that Kris was receiving, specifically reacting to a recent video by Sunny V2 titled "Why Kris Will Soon Be a Nightmare for MrBeast," speculating that Tyson's feminine appearance will hurt MrBeast's popularity, which the caption of the video suggested. The caption of the video suggested that Tyson could be MrBeast's biggest controversy to date, and Beast responded to this in a tweet saying, "Yeah, this is getting absurd. Kris isn't my nightmare, he's my friend and things are fine. All this transphobia is starting to really piss me off. It's a low bar to be supportive of the LGBTQIA+ community, but I'm glad that the biggest YouTuber in children's media has decided to be outspoken on the topic." Our second story today is regarding Elon Musk, tech billionaire and richest person on the planet's hasty decision to rebrand the social media website Twitter, which he acquired in October of last year after a $44 million buyout. Since the acquisition of the site, Elon has made plenty of less than desirable decisions, for example, firing the core teams, setting a limit for how many tweets users can see per day, ditching the long-standing content moderation and hate speech rules, and implementing the much-detested Twitter Blue subscription service. In a recent decision from the social media giant's owner, he's decided to rid it of the iconic blue bird logo and replace it with an emblem comparable to a X-rated website. No pun intended. Musk announced on Sunday that Twitter's new logo was going live, with Musk tweeting, "And soon we shall bid adieu to the Twitter brand and gradually all the birds." The new design consists of the letter X in a font that was purchased for $30 online, that's available for use to anyone who has $30, and a black marble background, which would look great as some 14-year-old girl's phone background in 2013. And such graphic design prowess would not be finished without a $1 million price tag on the domain x.com. His decision to go through with the rebrand came about after a series of focus groups showed that customers disliked the name, presumably because of the pun I made earlier. Musk has had a fixation with the letter X since he arrived on the scene, with with previous entrepreneurial endeavors, naming things such as SpaceX, Tesla Model X, and his son Kyle. Nah, just kidding, his name is X-12. It was only a matter of time for him to rename the internet town square X.com. So why does Musk like the letter X so much? Well, in a piece for Psychology Today, clinical psychologist Leon Seltzer suggested that Musk appreciates X's malleability, how it can be birth and death, cancellation and multiplication, nothing and everything. So yeah, the perfect name for a website that is nothing but the worst news you could possibly hear and people saying opinions you didn't know existed. Also super great to put an emblem that everybody on the internet has already been trained to close a web page with. Flawless design. Elon hasn't been having an easy time rebranding the social media sites for San Francisco headquarters, however. As workers were removing the former name from the building, police stopped them from continuing what they deemed to be unauthorized work, according to an alert sent by the department. According to police, the social media firm had failed to communicate with security and the building's owners about its plans to remove the sign from the Market Street headquarters. Police were then called amid the confusion, though later concluded that no crime had been committed. The workers were stopped halfway through the project though, meaning that they only managed to remove the bluebird emblem and twit, but the ER still remained. It's not just the outside of the building that's had changes made to it, as Musk has renamed the conference rooms at the headquarters to incorporate the letter X, according to photos seen by New York Times. One room has been named Sexy, while another is called Exposure. Very clever, Elon. Linda Yaccarino, who was appointed as Twitter's chief executive in May, said in a tweet about the rebranding on Monday, "It's an exceptionally rare thing in life or business that you get a second chance to make another big impression. Twitter made one massive impression and changed the way we communicate. Now X will go further, transforming the global town square." I'm not sure if something as simple as a shoddy rebrand and bad graphic design is all it takes to quote change the way we communicate, but it sure did make a big impression and does have people talking, even if for the most part that just means that people on Twitter or X.com are talking about what site they should move to. Our last news story for today concerns the ex-football player who's back in the news for the first time since the TB12 method. Brady's line of overpriced health products went live, which puzzled fans and adversaries alike. The Patriots quarterback is back in the public eye after a few months of solitude, with a revelation that he may be dating again after his 2022 divorce. Brady and ex-wife Giselle split after 13 years of marriage, which the duo claims was amicable and simply due to them growing apart. Brady's not just dating anyone though, but none other than Russian model Irina Shayk, and this isn't her first rodeo dating athletes. Shayk was with Cristiano Ronaldo, one of the most renowned football players in the world, for 5 years, but they called it quits in 2015, rumors of infidelity being a contributing factor to the decision. An absurd fun fact about this situation being that the breakup caused her to lose 11 million Instagram followers in less than 24 hours. At present, sources with direct knowledge told TMZ that Irina's moved on to a different type of football player, Tom Brady, and the duo are indeed dating. The duo apparently met in June at the wedding of billionaire art heir Joe Nahmed and model Madison Hedrick. In disagreement with Shayk's representative, sources say a number of models were hitting on Tom and Irina was one of them. In fact, Irina's team came out swinging at the notion that she was into him, calling the report totally malicious and fictional. The same sources claim that Giselle, Brady's aforementioned divorcee, is not happy at all about the news that Tom is dating Irina. To add insult to injury, the news came out just a couple days after Giselle's birthday. Affirmation came of Irina and Tom's new relationship after paparazzi caught the duo apparently cozying up in LA over the course of a weekend, which all started on Friday when TMZ says Brady first picked her up at Hotel Bel Air in the afternoon and proceeded to drive her over to his house. Pictures were then released of Tom and Irina sitting in a car while they were stopped at a light, depicting Tom stroking Irina's cheek, both of them sporting huge smiles. The duo apparently walked into Tom's place still with ear-to-ear grins. New love just never stops being fun. The sources also added that she didn't leave his place until the following morning at about 9:30 a.m. Geez, are these paparazzis taking shifts? At the end of the day, these two, from the looks of it, seem extremely happy with their new arrangement, and Tom probably has all the time in the world to give to his new fling as he doesn't have football to keep him busy. Thanks so much for watching, and let us know what you think about these stories in the comments below. What other podcasts would you like to see Kris Tyson make an appearance on? Did you hear about X and say why? Do you think Tom and Irina's relationship will last? Please feel free to share. Once again, I am your host Aaron, and I hope you enjoyed this Inform Overload video. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you guys in the next one.